call today. Welcome everybody to the July 10th NEMSIS V3 implementation call. My name is Gregor, hosting today. So on our agenda today, we will be starting with Jen Correa, going over the posted timeline. So Jen, if you wouldn't mind.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? I am quite happy and quite pleased to talk about our version 351 timeline. And then also a reminder, the maintenance update is going to be July 16th and 17th this month. You may experience some outage trying to reach the dashboards or with NEMSIS.org. As always, during July 16th and 17th, there is to be expected. If you experience any issues outside of those dates, please let us know. Contact us through the help desk. And please use the help desk for that. That way, if anyone is out or on vacation, someone will attend if there is an issue. So again, July 16th and 17th is the maintenance. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. There we go. And as you can see, I am on the NEMSIS website. We have posted the version 351 timeline. It is located over here under when will changes take place, right here. And the nice part is that we did include the project roadmap. We kept that on there so that you can share that with your customers, with your clients, with your agencies within your state. Anyone who may wonder, like, okay, so here's these dates, but what do those dates mean? The roadmap will show you what those dates mean. And it's really important to note the iterative process that's on the project roadmap. And the reason that's important is because if something major is found within this iterative process, right, it could adjust those times just a little bit. This is a minor release, so that isn't something that we think will happen, but as all wonderful things, we like to be prepared for that. So just letting you know that is there. And then the next item, I will go ahead and I apologize, I don't see the agenda. Do I have the next item, or did I see John join us?
My apologies, Jen. Yes, why don't you go ahead and do the next item? Would be vendor breakout review.
All right, fantastic. Then I'm going to go ahead and keep going because you all love to hear from me. And I'm going to share my screen again. And we're going to go back to, there we are. So back at the NEMSIS website. So during the last V3 implementation call, we had the very first receive and process state vendor breakout sessions, and they were really successful. So the vendors that had agencies and states go into their room, there were great discussions that occurred, very robust. It was exactly what we wanted it to be. There was sharing of ideas. There was sharing of, oh yeah, we were experiencing that too. And it was just really positive. There wasn't any negativity on those calls in those sessions. It went very, very well. So it was very successful. We are going to go ahead and move forward with the collect and send. And of course, there's many more of you who do collect and send process. So we have created a color chart, and you can find which color each vendor is by going here to your compliance software testing status page. And in case you missed it, I went under technical resources, compliance software testing status. And then right here, you can see where it talks about the version 3 implementation calls, and maintaining compliance does require that you attend these calls. And there's a breakout vendor list right here. When you click on that, it'll ask you to download a document, and this is what the document looks like. It's got your software company name, the product name, and if you're a software company that has multiple software products that operate differently, Zoll is a great example right here. They have EMS charts. They also have RescueNet. You will each be assigned a breakout room because your EMS chart customers and your RescueNet customers would be different. So each one was assigned a color and assigned a week when that color will occur. And blue here is an even month second week. So the first week in August, which is our next meeting after this one, is an even month. August is the 8th month, and it's the second week of the month. So that'll be all of the blue vendors. They will each be assigned a breakout session. Your agencies and states are more than welcome to come and ask questions. Just like the last time, the vendors are expected to stay for 10 minutes. If no one joins the room after 10 minutes, you are more than welcome to leave. Otherwise, the expectation is that you would stay until the end of the call, which would be 10:30 Mountain Time. Depending on where you are located, you might have to convert that. All right. And Caitlin, I like that. So Caitlin put in a chat that says all gold colored vendors are exempt from biannual recertification requirements. Please know that that was funny. And yeah, I wish we could do something like that, but no, everybody gets to do the same stuff. And then the odd months, right? That's your yellow. And notice the green is over here. So that is your state receive and process vendors, just like we had last time. They will be the fourth week in an odd month. They would happen if we were doing this on schedule and we weren't canceled for the next meeting, V3 implementation call meeting, they'd be next in 2 weeks. That meeting is canceled because it is a Utah state holiday, so they won't happen. And then we start in August. All right. I kind of thought there might be some questions, so please feel free to raise your hand if there are questions or put it into the chat. Let us know. This will also be listed on the agenda. You'll notice it when the agenda is shared again after I stop sharing. You'll notice at the bottom it's got the vendor breakout sessions listed, and hopefully that will help you. If you have any questions, again, you can go back here to your compliance page and you can find out where you are. It's important that you have someone to represent you as a vendor, just in case you have an agency that joins that does want to speak with you. I am not seeing any raised hands or anything like that, so I'm going to think there's no questions. Back to you, Casey.
All right, thank you for that, Jen. Great information. I think those vendor breakout rooms were really helpful. Well, let's go with Randall Eimerman with NASEMSO. Randall.
Hey, thanks, Casey. So the first update I have here, just the DMC continues to meet 3 times a month. Kind of from the DMC meeting, NASEMSO also puts on DMC regional meetings every month, and our regional representatives from our DMC are now kind of giving a more thorough report from our DMC meeting to our EMS state directors, medical directors, trauma managers, and really all councils and committee members who join those NASEMSO regional monthly meetings. Another item that they've been kind of started with the DMC is some state project presentations from our DMC members. Really, it's just to share ideas for other states to implement as needed. It's kind of a new thing that they've started, so we haven't had any examples yet. For the Custom Elements Committee, the clinical opioid withdrawal scale is currently being reviewed and approved by the DMC members. Currently, looks like we've had 10 votes on it and all of them have been approved. And another topic that we'll be discussing will be the pediatric transport device, and that'll be kind of helping out break out the term of car seat into more defined, in a more defined type of car seats. Also, the extended data definition subcommittee met yesterday. They've been continuing to work on that front matter material, how this document can be helpful. Version 2 is currently on the NEMSIS website, and I highly recommend that everyone kind of reference that document and take a look at it. And kind of some of the future considerations is e-situation 20, which is the reason for interfacility transfer or medical transport. ERS 12, which is the return of spontaneous circulation, and e-response 12, which is the type of transport delay. If you look at the extended data definitions, we have other types of transports and items in there. And this e-response 12 would just sort of help finalize that. And then lastly, separately, NASEMSO, NHTSA, NEMSIS, we all have a meeting with the state EMS directors to continue to provide education and information sharing with the EMS state directors. We get a really good chance to hear from their opinions, concerns, and topics. Those meetings are very well attended by our state EMS directors, and the next one is scheduled for July 19th. And that's all I have today. Any questions?
All right, thank you for that update, Randall. Appreciate it. We will next have Josh Legler covering interoperability updates. Or John, are you ready?
I am ready. I'm sorry. I was muted earlier, but that's been fixed.
Okay, so we'll go with John and then we'll have Josh after that.
Sorry, Josh. Thanks, everybody. So as my normal, I do the stakeholder introductions every week or every 2 weeks when we meet. The point of those is to get to know others on the call, build connections that lead to collaboration, maybe match some faces with names that we've not seen before, get some ideas for new hobbies, and to spotlight a new person for a few seconds while I introduce them, and to have fun. So this week, yikes. Nobody's filled out my form recently, and I've introduced everybody who I have information for. So if you have not been introduced, even if you've been here for a while, but you can go to this QR code, fill out my little form, send me a picture or two, and you too can share in the glory of being introduced in our biweekly state introduction. I have the next thing too as well. Also, I will share the link, the actual link to this in the chat in case you want to do this from a computer instead of your phone. Casey, do you want me to go ahead and do the dashboard review as well?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So for our past few meetings, I've been highlighting a dashboard or two if they're small. And this week, I'm going to highlight the EMS agency location dashboard, and there's a couple of reasons for it. One, it's one of our lesser used ones or lesser known about, which is why I'm pointing them out so that you know that they're there. And two, because I'm asking all of the EMS data managers, if you would take a minute and review them, and I'm going to show you how to do that to make sure that the agency lists are correct. That'll help with some stuff we've got coming up in the future. But first, where is the agency location dashboard? Well, like most state reports, and if you are a state agency, you will have to have state agency ACTA access to be able to view this, and you will only be able to see your state information. If you're a federal user, you can see multiple states. But of course, you go to the state reports under view reports, and it is the third one down, EMS agency location dashboard. Using the magic of computing and TV, as they used to say, I have already logged in, and James was nice enough once again to let me use North Carolina as a demo state. So your state will appear here when you log in, and you'll see a few things. So all of the counties are highlighted, and as you hover over the counties, you'll see specific information about that county, how many agencies are in it, how many PCRs to date from that county have been received by NEMSIS, and how many PCRs per agency. If you highlight it, a county, I highlighted Pitt County because that happens to be where I'm sitting right now, you'll get the agency breakdown for that county. On the right side are just pie charts of the level of service, primary type of service, organization types. That just means are they volunteer or paid or mixed, fire department, private, or something else. This is one of those that you may want to subscribe to if there are changes, just so that if you submit a change, you'll see it go through, or if there is a change that you didn't submit, you'll see it go through as well. So just pick when data refreshes. And I forgot to do this, but at the top, click don't send if it's data. If it's empty, that'll keep you from getting reports with no changes. And one of the little hidden gems of this dashboard is the crosstab download. So you can select the agency breakdown and download that as an Excel file. And I've picked the entire state, but you could do this for just the county if you wanted to. And you will end up, this is the raw download that you get, but it's pretty usable in Excel because with just a few clicks and some formatting, you can turn it into that with a couple sliders, and you can choose an organizational status if you'd like volunteer. It'll only show all your volunteer, or volunteer. I tried it early. I chose volunteer and what was it? I don't even remember. Oh, critical care. Yeah, there were no volunteer critical care units in North Carolina. Thought that was probably correct. And that's it. It's a pretty usable little chart, all right, pretty usable little dashboard that gets you a lot of information pretty quickly and gets it to you without a lot of editing on your part to be able to use it.
Hey, John, here's a couple of comments. Karen Jacobson asked, for this report, what time frame does the PCR count represent?
Yep, that was actually on my list to say just next. The PCR count is for year to date that we received it from NEMSIS. I looked that up. The calendar year to date.
And then Ann Bosbrink from Arizona asked, are there any other breakdown levels aside from county, like postal code or other? We have very few counties relative to our size, and our counties are huge.
This particular dashboard is based on county level, so not really. But you can select more than one county by holding control as you select them. And I can help you if you want some similar information. I can help you with a different dashboard to get that for you, and we may go over that in another time. But this particular one is based because it's based on the e-location of where the PCRs were and oh, now I just forgot it. The e-location or D agency 9 through 14 is what it uses in the EC 19. So it's basically based on county level. Any other questions? I can see the chat now that my other screen is at max. What time? Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, I'll send it back to you, Casey.
Very good. Thank you for that, John. All right. Well, next on our list then is Josh Legler to cover interoperability updates.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Got a couple updates related to interoperability. Get screen share up. The Interoperability Task Force met on a monthly basis for about a year and a half and had the final monthly call just about a month ago in June. It was a great call where we kind of set the path forward for the future work that we need to do in interoperability, kind of have our path forward figured out at this point. So the task force has been very helpful over the past year plus to really define that path forward for interoperability between EMS and the rest of healthcare. If you want to catch that task force call that we had in June, you can go to the interoperability page of the NEMSIS website. It's in the Using EMS Data menu and down at the bottom of that menu. So there's the section on the task force, and you can get the link to all of the recorded meetings on the NEMSIS YouTube channel and watch the one from June. There's one other thing I want to highlight today for interoperability, and that is an update to a data transformation resource for transforming data from HL7 consolidated clinical document architecture format to the NEMSIS e-outcome format for getting outcomes from hospitals. Scroll a little further down on this interoperability page and you'll see the section about the GitHub repository, and that's where this updated resource is located. So I'd like to show it to you and kind of explain what got updated here. So I'm going to go to the GitHub repository for the EMS interoperability project. I'm going to go into the transformations folder, which is the folder that will house multiple transformation resources as we build them to transform data back and forth between NEMSIS and HL7 formats or potentially other formats. And so right now we've focused on transforming from HL7 clinical document architecture to NEMSIS for the purpose of getting outcomes from a hospital after an EMS call. And in that section, we have one transformation done so far, which is transforming an HL7 CCDA discharge summary to the NEMSIS outcome format. This is a great resource for the technical people, for developers who work for software products, people who are going to be really at the ground level involved in transforming data from HL7 to NEMSIS format to get those outcomes. So the discharge summary to NEMSIS outcome transformation, I published this a few months ago initially, and the initial version of it was built to transform a discharge summary that represented a hospital inpatient visit and get the data out of that discharge summary that would fill the e-outcome section of a NEMSIS report. So we would understand their disposition, some timestamps, procedures that were done, and diagnoses that the patient had from their hospital inpatient stay. So I've just published an update to this transformation where it now supports discharge summaries not only for inpatient stays, but also for emergency department encounters. So if you get a discharge summary from a hospital, regardless of whether it was the inpatient phase of the encounter or whether it was the emergency department encounter, you can run that discharge summary through this transformation. It's an XML transformation, XSL. And what you'll get out of it will be a fragment of a NEMSIS document that has the e-outcome section all filled out with data. So that's the XSL, that's the actual resource that does the work of extracting out that data. It comes with two sample sets of sample files, one representing an ED encounter and the other representing an inpatient encounter. So just to show you kind of what this looks like, this is what a CDA file looks like that represents a discharge summary for an emergency department encounter for a patient. And after that gets run through the transformation, what you get as a result is this NEMSIS file that has this e-outcome section filled out with data that it extracted from the discharge summary. So the resources there, the sample files are there. You can run them through that transformation yourself, get the same results. And then detailed notes are available about how this transformation works, the decisions, kind of design decisions that were made along the way about which pieces of information to pull and how to transform them. All of that is there. So for software developers who are working on interoperability, especially working on getting outcomes from hospitals back to EMS, I would encourage you to review this updated resource. Next month, I'll publish a similar transformation, but it'll be pulling data from a continuity of care document, or CCD, which is the most common document type that's floating around in healthcare data today. And then we've got more transformations lined up to do after that. All right, so let me pause for a sec and see if there are any questions. Go ahead and put them in the chat. And otherwise, I'll go ahead and send it back to Casey.
All right. Oh, looks like
A link.
someone's
I'll go
asking
ahead and
for a
put in
link.
the link. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Any other questions for Josh? All right. Great work, Josh. Thank you for that.
There There was a question of whether there was a link to the Git repository, Josh.
Yeah, it's in the chat now. Oh, whoops. I only sent it to Chris Hoffman. How about that? How about I try sending it to everyone? There you go.
All right, anything else there? All right, very good. Thank you again, Josh. All right, next up we have Monet to cover the monthly report and also annual meeting. Monet, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here today. I just want to briefly talk about our monthly activity report. So as you're aware, the NEMSIS TAC provides a monthly activity report that represents a highlight of the work, collaboration, and current initiatives that we are working on. The report was sent out on July 3rd, and several of you may have missed it due to the holiday weekend. I will show you how to find the report, which is posted on the NEMSIS website. So we'll go to View Reports and then Public Reports. And it's under the monthly reports. And it's the first report here on this list, which will be the June 2024 report. And so again, this provides an overview, and the purpose of the report is to increase the transparency and communication with our stakeholders and better support the work that you do. We will continue to publish the report to all NEMSIS stakeholders via the NEMSIS Google group. If you have any additional information that you would like to see in this report or have any suggestions for improvement, please let us know about those suggestions. One other thing I will mention here is we provide a summary of our activity with the NASEMSO DMC group. We also provide a list of the presentations that were made. We have our public training, a summary of the public training that took place in June, and then there is a link to the recording here, as well as a review of the June implementation calls. We have some updates as it relates to the V3 and V3-5 data submissions so that you can see the count of records and the agencies that, the number of agencies that are submitting data. And we also have some information about the work that we're doing with the data use agreements. I am still working to complete those data use agreements. So reach out to me directly if you are in the process or you have questions about that. And then one of the other things I wanted to mention about this report is we have some summaries about the compliance testing status. This information is available on the website. And then one of the additional things I want to mention is the research citations. These are fairly new. These may not be posted on our website at this time, but if you're looking for research articles that are utilizing the NEMSIS data, you can also find the most recent reports in this document as well. Now, I'm going to go back up to this report because my next topic is to talk about the NEMSIS annual meeting. And so I have some information about the annual meeting in the report as well. And this information is also available on the NEMSIS website. So I'd like to take this time and opportunity to invite you to the NEMSIS annual meeting, to encourage you to register soon so that you can take advantage of the early bird rate. It will increase in August. But I also want to explain that the way for you to have the best experience with our annual meeting is to attend in person. The in-person attendance will provide great discussion, great content. We're going to have great food. We always have a Goonie adventure. And so we want you to feel like the special guest that you are. So please take an opportunity to register for the meeting. We'll have more than 30 NEMSIS compliant software companies participating, as it is a requirement for software vendors to register in person for the meeting, as well as many of your state data managers from across the nation. So if you haven't had an opportunity recently to meet with these people face to face, this will be a great opportunity for you to attend the meeting. And so let us know if you have any questions. You can send them directly to me in an email, or you can submit a ticket if you have questions, and we'll be happy to respond at our earliest convenience. Are there any questions at this time? All right, if you have questions, let me just check this chat really quick. All right, so if you have any questions, just go ahead and submit them to us and we'll review them after this call. And I'll turn the time back over to you, Casey. Thank you.
All right, Monet, thank you. So next up is Mr. Eric Chaney, if he's in the room today. Not sure if I saw him in there or not.
They do have another meeting this morning.
Very good. Okay, we will move on then. All right, so upcoming events, next public training is going to be on Tuesday, August 6th. Looks like noon to 1 Eastern time.
And I would like to talk a little bit about that training that we're hosting. So this training will actually be sponsored by two of our colleagues from NHTSA's Office of the National Center for Statistics and Analytics. Joanne Reed and Bo Burnett will be participating and conducting this particular training. It is actually talking about MUC, and MUC stands for the Model Minimum Uniform Crash Criteria, the 6th edition. So these two individuals will come and provide this training for us on August 6th. They'll provide an overview of the traffic records, including this crash data system, a history and purpose of the development of MUC, and encouraging states to participate in the adoption of the data elements. So this will be a great opportunity for you if you're unfamiliar with MUC, or if you want to continue to learn more about that, please join us for this training. And since I wanted to mention it because we will cancel the July 24th meeting. So put this on your calendar for August 6th. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that, Monet. That sounds very interesting, actually. All right, so we're going into open forum. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to bring up, discuss? Not seeing anything pop up in the chat. All righty. All right, does anyone on the NEMSIS team have anything to bring up, announce to anybody? Very good. Okay, so upcoming meetings, we will not have our July 24th meeting because Pioneer Day is observed in Utah, so we will not be in office. So the next one then will be August 14th, same time, 11 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Here you can see the breakdown again for the vendor breakout rooms when we do those. And then also the information for the V3 call Zoom meetings. Anything anyone wants to bring up off the floor? Any questions before we end today?
There is
I see something in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Where is the training on August 6th? Is it virtual?
Yes, affirmative. We will have a flyer sent out to all of NEMSIS stakeholders, and it'll have a link for the training. It is a virtual meeting, and look for that announcement via the NEMSIS Google group, or I'm sorry, through our listserv, we'll send that out. Thank you.
All right. All right, anybody else? Very good. Well, we will conclude the call for today. Thank you everyone for attending. And again, a reminder, we will not have the July 24th meeting. The next one will be August 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern. So excited to see you all there, and everyone have yourself a great, safe rest of your week.